Hamilton's housing market isn't cooling, it's a crime scene. And your equity zipped in a body bag. You're standing over it, and here comes the butcher.
I want to play a game. Here's what happens if you lose.
15-year high inventory, 10-year low sales. Every single week, another property sells for less than the one before. And those numbers, they're tattooed on your house, whether you like it or not. This isn't a slowdown. It's you holding a grenade with the pin half pulled. And everyone's watching to see if you drop it. Every day that passes is another bullet in your home value. You've seen it, the same damn houses, same stale photos, same for sale signs like frozen tombstones. Posted, pulled, relisted, rinse, repeat. A Netflix series that should have been canceled 2 seasons ago. Local forums, absolutely ruthless. Feels like listings have been reposted a dozen times. Sellers just won't drop their prices. We're not gonna bite. That's not fear talking, it's patience. Buyers have lawn chairs out, sipping coffee, watching you sweat from across the street. Mainstream media still reading you bedtime stories. Soft landing, cool down. Translation, don't panic until we tell you to panic. But walk your streets, count the signs. 1/3 have price reduced slapped on them like an apology. 2/3 of those still no offers. That's not normal. Here's the homeowner blind spot. You don't have to be selling to lose money in this game. If the guy down the street caves and sells for $65,000 under asking, guess what? That's your new benchmark. Appraisers don't care about your kitchen reno. They don't care about your overpaid landscaping. They care about the number of the last sale. Congratulations, you just lost equity without moving a single box. And it's not just downtown. Hamilton Mountain, Stony Creek, Burlington, different postal codes, same disease. Too much supply, no urgency, buyers clinically indifferent. Interest rates at 5% didn't kill demand. They put it in a medically induced coma. Buyers didn't vanish. They're standing over the bed waiting for you to pull the plug. Now here's your oh shit moment. 2019, East Hamilton, detached sale over $720K. Last month, same street, same house, $556,000. Nothing wrong with it, good condition, same curb appeal. The difference? It sat for 90 days, then took the first lowball just to end the pain. That one sale didn't just hurt them, it nuked the paper value of every house on the street. That's how a market bleeds without ever making the news. Here's the equation no one wants to solve. More supply plus lower sales equals buyers write the rules. In 2021, the rule was bid high or lose. In 2025, the rule is watch, wait, then carve that seller open with a knife. You can still win, but only if you play their game better than they do. That means no fantasy pricing, no lazy just on the MLS listings, no waiting for a season to save you. Because seasons don't save stale inventory, they bury it. Don't think the bank is watching. When days on market spikes in your neighborhood, lenders don't just look at your house. They mark down the whole area. Your refinance dreams, gone. Your line of credit, smaller. Your appraisal quietly lowers. That's why I say this isn't weather, it's warfare. We're in a siege, not a storm. Sieges end when one side breaks. And in Hamilton right now, sellers are breaking first. Not in public, in quiet signatures at the lawyer's desk. This is a slow motion death sequence. Listings sit, buyers get picky, price cuts land, lower sales set the new comps, every homeowner's appraisal quietly drops. Repeat until people start saying, remember when values were, like they're talking about the Leafs winning the Stanley Cup. And here's the most dangerous bedtime story you've been told. It's a bad time to sell wrong. Price where buyers already are, and you can still set the high watermark for your street. Price where you wish they were, and you'll be cleaning up someone else's flood. Buyers aren't your enemy, they're your judge. And every extra day on market is another piece of evidence in their case against paying you full value. If you live in the greater Golden Horseshoe, you don't need some old man on a billboard. You live on your phone. So do your buyers. I'll put your home on 100,000 of their phones in 14 days or less, guaranteed. Grab my free seller guide or book a call. Hamilton's real estate market isn't tough. It's a chessboard where buyers just took your queen. Last week's numbers aren't an opinion, they're an autopsy report. 2,157 new listings, 830 sold. That's not competition, that's overcapacity. And when the shelves are full, buyers shop slower and cheaper. 802 price cuts in 7 days. That's 802 sellers admitting their opening number was wrong and paying for it. 1,009 canceled listings, not still on the market, but pulled, gone, dead. Some will relist lower, others will quietly rent it out. Either way, their original plan, over. And months of supply, highest it's been in over a decade. That's the signal buyers are reading like a neon sign. You've got time. No, you don't. The death spiral you don't see coming. High inventory doesn't just slow sales. It changes the buyer's brain. In 2021, a listing was a grenade. Pull the pin and everyone drove to grab it. In 2025, it's a museum piece. Buyers walk around it, take a few photos, and leave without touching it. The longer you sit, the worse it gets, because one slow sale begets another. And soon you're not just competing against the other homes, you're competing against a cheaper version of your own house that sold last week. Why waiting is the new losing. Every seller thinks they'll wait for a better market. Here's the twist. In a high inventory market, the longer you wait, the worse your position gets, because buyers, they're tracking your listing like a hawk. Every day on market is another reason for them to think you're getting desperate, you'll take less, they can wait you out. And when you finally move, you're not negotiating from strength, you're negotiating from fatigue. Hamilton Mountain, just 2 weeks ago, 87 days on market with another agent, 0 offers worth opening. We reset to where buyers were actually searching, ran hyper-targeted ads, not spray and pray MLS exposure. Day 4, multiple offers, full asking. That's not magic. That's knowing the market's pulse and striking before the rot sets in. You either set the number or live with it. Another one in Burlington just a few weeks ago. 1-day sale, 5K over asking. Result, that didn't just make the seller happy, it became an anchor for higher comps across the neighborhood. Now flip it. Hamilton Mountain, 90 days on market, 78K under the initial ask price. That sale didn't just hurt that seller, it dragged down the entire area's appraisals for months. This is why I call it equity warfare. One neighbor's bad strategy is a bullet through everyone else's property value. The psychology of buyers right now is this. They're extremely methodical. They don't have to rush, but here's the playbook. See a listing they like, wait, watch the first price cut, offer even less. They know sellers are paying a second mortgage, dealing with showings, and watching the clock tick. Patience is their weapon. Average price headlines are lying to you. The news says prices are stable, but that's the average, the smooth blend of wins and losses. What matters isn't average price, it's velocity. How fast homes in your range are selling, how far below asking they're closing. If velocity is dropping, you're standing on a frozen lake in April. The cracks are forming, but you won't know until your foot goes through. The second butcher. If the first butcher was the market itself, the second one is the appraisal. Appraisals don't care about what you want. They care about the most recent sale. If that number's 40K lower than you hoped for, they bring that cleaver to your refi, your HELOC, even your ability to upsize. I've seen homeowners who weren't even selling lose access to 6 figures in equity simply because the wrong neighbors sold wrong. How you win when buyers hold the cards. This market doesn't reward nice to have marketing. It rewards precision strikes. Here's what that looks like. Launch like a product drop, not a listing. No lazy photos, no weak first price. Price in the pocket. If buyers are searching between 875 to 925K, you don't come in at 950 just to try. That's a death sentence. Target the right eyeballs. It's not just about the MLS. You need to be on the exact screens your buyers are already scrolling, with copy that stops them cold. Why I'm telling you this? Because every week you wait, the gap between the number you want and the number the market will actually give you gets bigger. And in this market, that gap isn't closing, it's widening. If you want to defend your number, you have to move like you're first to market, even if you've listed before. If you're in Hamilton, Burlington, Stony Creek, Ancaster, anywhere in the greater Golden Horseshoe, and you want to launch without becoming someone else's cautionary tale, I'll put your home in front of 100,000 targeted buyers in 14 days or less. No guesswork, no praying for spring, just a strategy built for this market, not last year's. Grab my free seller guide or book a call. Because in this market, the only sellers winning are the ones who move first, hit hardest, and never give buyers the luxury of time.